Well, hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of the Red Shadows Blu-ray collection. I let myself slip from keeping on this like I had planned to. I wanted to do this a couple days ago, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump right on in. In the last one, I ended, I believe, with the with the K's, or somewhere around there, because the first movies on this one are starting with the L's. So let's just jump right on in. First movie up is The Last Stand, a recent Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Although, boy, Arnie was looking pretty old in that movie. Up next we got Lawless. This was also a pretty good movie from the last couple of years with a decent cast, interesting story. And we have The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Now, I haven't watched this movie in quite a while. This is my Blu-ray copy that's unopened, but I'm looking forward to watching it again. I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of got mixed reviews when it came out. Up next, we have one of my favorite movies of all time, and this is Leon the Professional. Originally known in the U.S. as The Professional, but this is like the restored, extended version of it over the theatrical version that had stuff that remained in it when it was out in like France or Europe in general that they deemed unfit for the U.S. audience, and then it's been restored in this one. I'm hoping to watch that movie soon and do a video specifically for it. Next we have Let Me In, a very interesting vampire tale based off of a movie that was called something or other, Let the Right One In. Well, it's based on a Swedish novel. I'm wanting to believe, though, that there may have been a movie version of it there. But it was a really good one. It had Chloe Grace Moretz in it. I'm a fan of her work. And up next we have a classic, Disney's The Lion King. Probably my favorite Disney movie of all time. And super excited to have it on Blu-ray after kind of losing my really deluxe, really nice DVD box set that I bought years ago. Up next we have Little House on the Prairie, Season 1 on Blu-ray, and Season 2 and Season 3. I don't have Season 4 yet. That came out a couple weeks ago, but I plan on tracking it down and getting the entire series of that. Just a really great old show that I absolutely love, that I used to watch the reruns of it on TBS back in like the 80s and 90s. Up next we have Live Free or Die Hard. I do not have the original 3 Die Hard movies on Blu-ray, but I figure someday I will. I watched this one, I think it was sometime last year or the year before, and it wasn't too bad, but I don't think anything will ever beat the original trilogy. And then this is A Good Day to Die Hard, which I haven't been able to watch yet because for some reason my Blu-ray player will not play the disc. I believe this is something, I believe I had that trouble with this at some point. I also had it with Hansel and Gretel. But I've heard a lot of negative reviews on that one. But I really want to watch it so I can determine what I feel about it for myself. Here's one of my favorite items in my Blu-ray collection. This is the Lord of the Rings Complete Extended Edition box set. 15 discs inside of this bad boy here. Complete extended editions of all 3 films. Over 26 hours of bonus content. Digital copies, I mean the whole 9 yards. And I got this for about somewhere between $40 and $45, if I remember right, on Amazon when they were having a special sale one day. I just couldn't pass that up. Love the Lord of the Rings movies. And up next we have one of my favorite TV shows, Lost, Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, and Season 6, because I still don't have Season 5 yet. I every once in a while I go to eBay, try to look at the prices and maybe track one for a while, but I just haven't been able to come up with the money. For some reason, Season 5 tends to be the most expensive one out there. Okay, now we jump into the M's. Machete, starring Danny Trejo. Actually, a really, really fun movie this is. And this was a silly little trailer that was made for the Grindhouse Movies experience that I mentioned in a previous video. And they actually made a complete movie that was really, really fun. Then they made a sequel that I haven't been able to watch yet called Machete Kills, but I'm looking forward to checking that one out at some point. Up next we have the Mad Max trilogy on Blu-ray. Mad Max, The Road Warrior, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in a nice little steel case. I'm not even going to call it a steel book because if I remember right, this actually opens up like a little tin case. But the main thing about it is that's an amazing trilogy. I really love those movies. Road Warrior would probably be my favorite of the three. Up next we have Madagascar, a really good DreamWorks movie. Got Madagascar 2, Back to Africa, or excuse me, 8, Escape to Africa. And Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. I have not got to see the third movie yet. We have Man of Steel. Even though I didn't think it was necessary to already reboot Superman, this is what we got last year, summer before last, I think. And actually it's pretty decent. We have The Man of Tai Chi. I mentioned this in a recent pickups video. It's a Keanu Reeves movie, and I haven't got to watch it yet, but I'm looking forward to sitting down with it. And here is the epic granddaddy of them all, the best movie, in my opinion, that Keanu Reeves was ever a part of, movie series. This is the Matrix, Ultimate Matrix Collection. And this has The Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, which is my personal favorite of the three, and Matrix Revolutions, also the Matrix Experience, 2-disc databank, and then the Animatrix, which was a really awesome set of animated Matrix-related movies. This is just one of my favorite things in my Blu-ray collection by far. And up next we have Megamind, another good DreamWorks movie, and one of the few things that I own that Will Ferrell had anything to do with that I actually like, because I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. Alright, now we've got Men in Black, Men in Black 2, and Men in Black 3. I love this entire trilogy. That third movie that they did recently was really, really awesome. It was really great to see them come back and do it right. Up next we have Michael Jackson's This Is It. Behind the scenes, like, rehearsal footage from the This Is It tour that he was going to do, that was going to wrap up his touring, his career, or whatever he had planned at the time, and then he passed away. I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Michael Jackson, but I don't really buy into a lot of that stuff that hasn't been proven about the guy. Alright, up next we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Blu-ray, something I looked for a long time. Really love this movie, and of course that started us down the road of the Brangelina thing, which I'm not so sure we ever really needed in our life. Mrs. Doubtfire, one of the Blu-rays of Robin Williams that I picked up after he passed away. This was like $5. Not necessarily one of my favorite Robin Williams movies, but it's really funny and I do enjoy it. And we have Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, the only Mission Impossible movie that I own on Blu-ray, and I haven't watched this one yet, but I did enjoy the other movies. And we have Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt. Really good baseball-related movie. That was why I got it, was because it was baseball-related, and it ended up being pretty awesome. And we have Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the two Mortal Kombat movies based off the video game series that, despite getting a lot of bad reviews and a lot of flack, I actually really enjoyed both the movies. I just didn't like that some of the characters were played by different actors in the second one. Up next we have Mud, a Matthew McConaughey movie that I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Whoa, and I almost tossed that on the ground. This is Mulan and Mulan 2. Now, if Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, Mulan is a very, very close second. Mulan 2 is but Mulan, I always really, really enjoyed that movie and was ever so glad when it finally came out on Blu-ray. And we're going to jump to more Disney movies as we go into the ends. We have National Treasure and National Treasure 2. Book of Secrets. I love these movies. Nicolas Cage was great in them, but the story was great. I just love those movies where they're kind of like tracking things down throughout the picture, and it leads to like something really awesome at the end. It was just good, lighthearted affair. Now, something that's good but not lighthearted is Natural Born Killers. And this is the director's cut, original uncut version. Sadly, unopened. I've never watched this version of it. I used to own this movie on VHS, though. Always loved it. Crazy, psychotic ride. Great movie. And speaking of great movies, The Never-Ending Story. And The Never-Ending Story. Yay, I got 2 copies. They kind of look the same, but they're not the same. This is the original one that I bought, and this one was released in 2010. And I guess I picked it up a couple years ago thinking, it's good to have this on Blu-ray because I love this movie, one of my favorite childhood movies. This came out a few months ago. This is the same movie, but it actually has bonus features. And I just couldn't pass it up. It was $10, and to be able to watch some behind-the-scenes stuff, it was something I couldn't pass up. I just haven't decided if I'm going to keep both of them or maybe sell the other one. Here's one of the first Blu-ray movies I ever owned, Ninja Assassin. I watched this a few years ago when I got it. I don't remember being totally impressed, but I also don't remember hating it, and I still have it, so I guess that says something. Up next we have No Country for Old Men, phenomenal movie. Own a special edition DVD, but when I was able to get this for $5 on Blu-ray, I had to jump on it. Definitely recommend checking out that movie. Non-Stop, another Liam Neeson action flick. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Think of it as Liam Neeson's action movies on an airplane. It had a part to the ending of it that I didn't really care for, but it didn't really detract from the overall picture. And now we have Now You See Me. This was a really, really good movie, and I hear that they're actually working on a sequel. I don't know that this is a movie that should have had a sequel, but it definitely deserves checking out the one that does exist. Now we go into the O's with Oblivion. This is a really good Tom Cruise movie. This is a steelbook copy. I really enjoyed this movie. It's a little bit of a mind blow when you get to the end of it, but it was really, really good. I don't know. I feel like anytime I watch a Tom Cruise movie nowadays, I have to be like, hey, this was really, really good. You should check it out, because most people just kind of think he's a joke nowadays. And if he is, who cares? He's still a good actor. Here's one of my favorite movies of all time, Once Upon a Time in the West. One of the few westerns you'll ever hear me talk good about. And this is an old one. This is from the 60s. It's a Sergio Leone spaghetti western starring Charles Bronson, Henry Fonda, Jason Robards, the beautiful Claudia Cardinal. And I don't know, this is just awesome. If you're not a hater of westerns, but you've never seen this, check it out. But even check it out if you're skeptical about westerns. You might change your mind, at least about that movie. 1 Hour Photo, another Robin Williams Blu-ray I picked up after he passed away. Very interesting role for him. I really enjoyed it, and as a person who works in retail, there were a lot of things that I recognized in that movie. Up next we have Ong Bak, the Thai Warrior. I forgot that I even owned this when I was going through my movies the other day, sorting them out for these videos. I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize that I had that. Something I got to sit down and watch sometime. Up next we have Parts Per Billion. This is a movie that I picked up because, like some other movies I think I've mentioned in my collection so far, this is about an outbreak of something that starts wiping out mass amounts of the population, and then these are like people who are immune or they haven't been affected by it yet, and it just goes through their lives. Well, I mean, that's why I bought it. I haven't watched it yet, but that was what attracted me to it. Plus it has a pretty decent cast. Alright, up next, here is another awesome thing in my collection, something that I absolutely love having. This is the 40-year Evolution Planet of the Apes box set. This has all of the original movies. It's Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. These are the original movies on Blu-ray. It's never been opened, so I can't tell you how awesome the package or what's inside of this. But it has like a booklet, and it has a really neat way that it folds out and opens up. One of these days I'm just going to sit down and go watch all the old classic Planet of the Apes movies. But I have already watched recently Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I did a video for. And then I will have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes to watch here sometime soon. But both of those, or well, Rise was good. Dawn, I assume, will be pretty good. But the originals are so classic. They're so awesome. And up next we have Predators. And this is the newer Predator movie that came out a few years ago. I was a big fan of the original too, especially the original movie. When this came out, I just kind of took a chance, and it ended up being pretty awesome. Last couple of movies here. We got Prince of Persia. Now, this one here gets a lot of flack, and I actually, within the last few months, I've heard a lot of people dishing on this movie, but I thought it was really, really good. I like the cast, I like the people in it. I'm pretty familiar with the video games and enjoy the games, so I don't know why it gets so much heat nowadays. And here's the classic Princess Bride. 2-disc set. I had actually bought, and I think I still own, a DVD that came out around, well, maybe around the same time as this, but when I saw that there was a Blu-ray, I had to get it. I don't care how old a movie is, I'll pick up a Blu-ray for it if it's cheap. And here is Prometheus. Now, I'm not a fan of the Alien movies in any way, shape, or form. If you noticed, there were no Alien movies in this collection. But this movie looked really interesting, and I decided to take a chance on it, and it was pretty cool. If there's another Prometheus movie, I will check it out. Maybe someday I'll watch the Alien movies, but I'm not so sure that this part of the series is going to sell me on it. Alright, up next is Pulp Fiction, another awesome 90s movie. Glad to have this on Blu-ray. Love this movie. I haven't got to watch the Blu-ray yet, and I think I may still have my DVD of that one. And then the last movie I'm going to do in this video to wrap up the P's is Puss in Boots, kind of a spin-off of the Shrek series. This was a really good movie. And I'm a big fan of DreamWorks stuff in general. So that's it for this video. I think this is probably a little shorter than the previous ones were. I want to keep them not too short, but I don't want them to be too long. Anyway, it'll probably be a couple of days before the next one comes up, so I have more time to finish sorting some stuff out. I hope you enjoyed my collection so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.